chosen scenario we found was most ethically appropriate was outcome B. From an ethical perspective, Maxine acts using a deontology ethical theory. This means that she makes ethical choices associated with principles about right and wrong and one's duty or obligation. Deontology often refers to one's ability to obey duties or rules regardless of the consequences and to do the right thing for no other reason than it's the right thing to do. This theory of ethics is appropriate for Maxine, as in outcome B, her decision to drive carelessly, recklessly, and aggressively on the road was the sole reason for the second accident caused. Her actions endangered the life of another passenger and her 8-month-old child. In outcome B, the consequence of her actions was the unnecessary accident caused, and although Maxine was desperate to answer the initial call of dispatch, and this outcome was not her intention, her duty as a paramedic officer was obeyed regardless of the consequence, and Maxine stayed on the scene to treat the accident that she was the cause of evasion to. In outcome B, Maxine acted in agreement with the principles of Kantian ethics, as she acted in accordance with duty what was right, and her morality was not jeopardized by acting rationally and not from her emotions. Kantian ethics emphasizes the value of all human beings and generally give respect to everyone, another reason why she stopped to treat the accidents she caused. It is important to recognize that an individual who adopts Kantian ethics has the capacity to act apart from their wants and needs, evident in Maxine's case as her true desire was to attend the initial call for help. She, however, acted apart from this longing to do what was right. In her situation, avoiding either situation would have resulted in death, and therefore there was no right approach. The end does not justify the means. Additionally, based off Immanuel Kant theology, if paramedics can drive away from a road collision, then anyone can drive away. If you're involved in a collision, everybody is obliged to stop. Based on the 4 principles of ethics for medical professionals, Maxine failed to consider foreseeable outcomes, and to a proposed course of action did harm to the patient. Therefore, she is by paramedic code of conduct responsible and accountable for her actions and must deal with them accordingly. Service Officer Maxine was involved in an incident in which her actions caused injury to one person via an RTC while also leading to the death of a child. Under Division 4, Subdivision 118A, the Chief Executive has the ability to discipline the service officer who must perform their duties carelessly, incompetently, or insufficiently. It is clear that Maxine conducted her actions carelessly while driving the ambulance, which caused injury, making her actions a ground for discipline. Under Section 18B(1), Maxine is also liable for being careless and for also making a false statement saying that she was okay to attend the incident when she was not emotionally stable. Maxine made the right choice by stopping and providing treatment to the hatchback driver. Maxine provided emergency care to the entrapped patient who would have been left in danger otherwise by exercising her power to open the hatchback and remove the patient. Section 42A of the Ambulance Act states that while driving with lights and sirens, the ambulance vehicle has right of way. In the discussed incident, the light went red in the ambulance's direction of travel when they were roughly 15 metres from the intersection. There was plenty of time for the ute driver and the hatchback driver to have been aware of their presence. They also would have been at a standstill and could have waited for the ambulance vehicle to pass before proceeding on their journey. Therefore, both drivers could have been implicated and received 16 penalty units under Section 46 of the Ambulance Service Act 1991. It is, in my opinion, on this matter that Maxine is liable for her actions as she was driving dangerously, resulting in injury and death. Although the hatchback driver should have given way, Maxine could have avoided the incident had she been driving safely and had maintained a calm demeanour. She was clearly not ready for the case despite providing false information that she was. Under Section 35 of the Ambulance Act, Maxine is covered from indemnity as she was driving erratically in good faith to get to the baby as soon as possible, which was further explained in Section 38 of the Ambulance Service Act 1991. However, she is also subject to civil liability due to risky driving behaviour. It is my recommendation that Maxine be suspended and that she be evaluated before returning to practice, as it is unacceptable for Maxine to be guiding her decision-making with Kantianism, thus acting without thought of the consequences. Maxine was using dentology ethical theory, more specifically Kantian dentology, meaning she has ethical morals, but they are strongly based on human reason. Since having a child and a long amount of time off, all these contribute to the situation she encountered and the actions that followed. Although her duty as paramedic overcame her personal needs, she still let her emotions overcome her, which endangered her partner and surrounding civilians. For Maxine, a reasonable consequence is up to the supervisor, which makes the situation objective since it will be a personal decision. One part of being a paramedic is responding to emergency jobs quickly and safely. This sometimes means having to pass through intersections. In response to the incident, a recommendation that could be implemented is to make people aware of what to do when they hear lights and sirens of emergency vehicles, as neither the Transport Operations Act 1995 nor the Ambulance Service Act 1991 state what exactly to do when passing through an intersection. The Ambulance Service Act only states to give the right of way to ambulances when lights and sirens are sounding under Act 42 of the Ambulance Service 1991. As stated in the officer's investigation report, the ute and the hatchback driver did have time to wait for the ambulance to go past, but due to this incident, we should make people more aware of what to do in the situation, and this can be implemented by using adverts to free-to-air TV, social media such as Facebook and YouTube as well. Thank you.